Welcome back. Yeah. Oh man, another week, another episode. Hey, we had to rush this one. We got content on deck officially now. but this is made in the 1980s. If you are listening for the first time, hey, look, I'm Cam from the port. Hey, how you doing? You know what I'm saying? I hope all is well with you. And shotgun again today for a part two, the first part two of the Made in the 1980s podcast. Man, I got my guy, and my guy's going to introduce himself right here.
Wayne Dane, please say the damn doodle.
Please say it. You know, hey, we're here. Oh,
You better fucking say it. You better say it.
You know what I'm saying? You better say it.
And
Oh
don't
man,
unless you say it. Like,
yeah.
like this ain't like Wheezy F baby and the F is for phenomenal. Like
Yeah,
this is
a
not
wild bar.
Bro. Why did nobody prove? Hey, why did nobody like? Hey, no.
Hey, look, you already know I'm the one that did, but nobody listens to me. When it comes to Wayne, nobody listens to me. Absolutely nobody listens to me when it comes to Wayne. I'll be like, look, I was like, hey, look, I like playing and bending words like anybody else, but y'all gonna let him do that? Like, like y'all gonna let him do that though?
I ain't gonna lie. We could probably do a whole pod on botched lyrics.
That's a fact. That is a supreme fact.
I got
You know what I'm
a
saying?
list of them.
Oh man. So man, you know what? Wayne, we got some things to talk about, man. Because one of our favorite factions, one of our favorite, groups. I'll call them a faction because group is, I don't know. When I think of groups, I think of other people, and we'll talk about that. But I want to be clear that I was not blind to this moment being a possibility. I just didn't think it would happen the way it happened, how it happened.
Agreed.
You know, I think still to this day, the most listened to, for sure, the most listened to. I don't know about the most viewed, but the most listened to episode, unless something else caught up for it. But for 2024, the most listened to episode of Made in the 1980s last year, 2024, was the episode titled Dipset, bitch. By far, too. And it was a good run of 3 shows, but that was the one that stuck out. That was the one that beat boy bands. That one beat man, I don't know. We did some nostalgia episode. Oh, the top baddies of like the 80s or 90s, one of those. Dipset beat all of those. and we got a chance to, pay homage, give flowers, give history. Dope episode. First episode where you mic'd. Let's keep it, what I'm saying? Let's be clear on that. You know what I'm saying? So that was awesome. And now we're here, man. Where is here? Here is the seeming, I don't want to say final nail in the coffin. I don't want to say that. But I do think we have officially reached the point where 40 Cal's intro verse to his, I think, first or second album is still in full effect from like 2008. And both individuals are done hiding their issues. Those individuals being Cam and Jim, Cameron, Jim Jones, KFC, and Capo. It seems to be like, hey, look, okay, let's just admit we don't really mess with each other. But at the same time, it looks like one of them is like, hey, and I'm cool. I'll just leave you be. So with that said, one, just you know what? No question. Just react. Just react.
I have so many mixed emotions
Mm-hmm.
on this situation because if you start from the beginning, I get why Cam felt the way he felt.
Okay.
And if it's seemingly that these two gentlemen have gotten past that, so it seemed. Because, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but me personally, I still don't know what the initial inner workings of the inner beef was. Nobody ever really spoke on it.
I got you.
You know, so it's like you could tell that there was tension, but based off of what? But I don't like the way either of these gentlemen are moving.
Fair.
You know, like to a point where, like, because I fucked with this collective of gentlemen so much, like, it kind of, no, I ain't gonna say kind of, the shit pains me to see how both of them are moving.
I dig that.
You know, so I
okay,
don't know, man. My emotions are everywhere on this one.
Okay. So let me just, I'm a softball a question here. Is there a right and a wrong here?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Who do you feel is right in this instance, and who do you feel is wrong?
Both of them. Like that's how fucked up it is for me. both have valid points. Is in being right, and both of them are hella wrong on, like, some of the shit that they doing in the way that they're moving. Like, I don't want to just dive in because I'm going to just take the show over and you're just going to be listening to me rant.
No, hey, maybe that's what this is calls for, because I have another question. So that is but I just want to put some structure around it because I think it's important. So you do think that both gentlemen can be right and wrong at the same time?
Yes, both. Okay. But I also have a third piece of input. There's a third party.
Okay.
There's a third party behind all of this shit.
Let's see if we're on the same page.
I don't understand how this guy even fucking has friends. Like, I'm not even gonna hold you. It's nothing against him. I ain't gonna say I never met him. I did meet him long before he was even who he became to be. But we're not. Curtis Jackson is a motherfucker, man.
We're on the same page. Hey, so okay, so look, okay. I'm gonna answer my question, and I'm gonna go into my second question then for you. Okay, so we're gonna stop this because we're only 8 minutes in. So we're gonna stop this. We're gonna back it up. We're gonna slow walk the dog here. Okay. So you think they can both be right and they can both be wrong?
Yes.
So and I am with you on that premise. However, Wang, I ain't gonna lie to you. I think Jim is 100% wrong in all of this. And it's going to go into my next question. So before I answer it, before I say what I'm going to say, my next question, ironically, was who or what do you feel is the blame for this? And when I say that, who or what is the blame? Fame or 50 Cent? Those are my notes, ladies and gentlemen. I got notes. My literal second question was, what or who do we blame for this? Fame or 50 Cent?
60% Fame, 40% 50 Cent.
Okay. See, now we're on the same page. Now we're directly on the same page. And seeing that is my personal issue of why I think this is more on Jim Jones than Cam. So I want to say this, and then I'll let you start cooking. Rap groups, rap factions, as we've seen just over time, are just hard to maintain. They're hard to maintain. And what I've seen in the last 2 weeks, let's keep it real. Since versus, and maybe even before that, what I've been seeing, let me say it right. Since balling, what I've been seeing personally is Jim Jones trying to be Cam. But not only trying to be Cam, trying to be bigger than Cam. And I'm not saying that it couldn't happen, wouldn't happen, shouldn't happen. My thing is just why? Why? What do you have to prove wanting to be bigger than the quote Dipset boss, the Dipset figurehead? Because let's be clear, do we give a fuck about Diplomats ever if it's not introduced on Cameron's Come Home With Me album, which is a solo album?
No, Diplomats. That's like trying to, like the previous conversation that we had before we even turned the cameras on.
Mm-hmm.
You can't go on tour without your key figure.
Yeah.
You can't do a Diplomat reunion show and there's no Cameron.
Yeah.
You know, you can do one without Jewels. You can do one without Jim. You can't do it without Cameron.
Right.
It can't happen. But taking it back to that, like taking it all the way back to there, 2004, 2005. When in that field, any field, the goal is to be the best.
For sure.
You know, so I wasn't in any offices or anything with these gentlemen when conversation was being had, but if I'm rapping, okay, let's use a neutral group. Let's use the Locks.
Mm-hmm.
Your face of the Locks, Jadakiss.
Mm-hmm.
Next, Styles P.
Mm-hmm.
Then Sheek Louch. It's always been that way. Nobody will say it any other way.
Yep.
But you really think Sheek Louch is not going in the booth after Kiss and trying to take his head off?
Right.
Of course he is.
Right.
And in certain cases, I done heard Sheek Louch get busy on it. Get busy, you know?
You know, it's been a couple moments. It's been a couple moments where it's actually debatable when we look back.
Right. Sheek Louch got it in him. So, but Jadakiss is not going to be like, no, fuck that. I'm the face of the Locks. Rewrite that.
Right.
You know, so I'm not going to fault him for trying to exceed expectation.
Mm-hmm.
Cameron had got to a point where, you know, when he was dealing with the situation with his mom, you know, RIP, but you didn't even want to rap. Mm-hmm. Who became the face of Dipset? Yeah.
So wait, okay. So now, see, I'm glad you said that, because that's my issue. Because I don't feel he did. And
he tried.
No. See, no. See, look, hey, don't worry. It's coming. Pause. But it ain't here. That's not what I'm saying. If it was about carrying the Dipset torch, then what's Bird Gang about? What's Purple City about? What's all these subsidiaries about? Like what is it about? Because my thing is Dipset or nothing to me as a listener, as a fan, as a person that's like, yo, Dipset, you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't, so part of it for me, why I fell off of Dipset so tough, because it wouldn't Dipset being rep no more. It was Purple City Gang and Bird Gang and this gang and that gang and these Eagles. And I was like, bro, I'm like, I don't know. I didn't pay for all of this. I'm here for Dipset.
Okay, you're 100% right. But that also takes me back to what I was saying. Like, we knew that there was some inner beef amongst the, let's just say, the top 3 of Diplomats. But from my recollection, it was never discussed.
Right. No, for sure.
I don't think the world knows whatever that inner workings was. So maybe Jim and Cam did have like a major falling out 2004, 2005. Maybe they was really on some fuck this nigga type shit. But they never, they was, back then they was men about it. They kept it amongst each other and they moved on. You know, so it's like, I don't know. I wasn't there. I'm just thinking out loud. Is that, could it have been something that deep as to why Jimmy said, okay, I'm going to do the Purple City, or I'm going to do Link with Skull Gang, and we're going to do all of this other shit, and we just go kind of leave that over there in case we could come back to it, because even though he was doing all of this other shit that didn't turn into nothing, you never heard him say, fuck Dipset, fuck the Diplomats.
Right, but because he can't. Because Dipset is the motion. Diplomats is the motion. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the Jedi mind trick, right? Because there's no value in Skull Gang without Dipset. There is no value in Purple City Bird Gang. It's like, all of that shit is just shit you talking. Like, it don't mean nothing. And Dipset, first of all, Dipset was birthed with a platinum album. Like, so it literally started as a music movement. That's what it started off as, and the figurehead of that was Cam. And with Cam, he brought in Jewels as a feature. Zeke acting the fool in the videos. Jim Jones directing the videos. Now, I understand the fact that the muscle, the hype man, the director, and all these people, maybe they don't get enough shine or credit that they deserve, but that don't mean one of them should start rapping to take the place of the person that planted the flag. And that's the difference for me.
That's hard for me to agree with, because, like I said, if me and you are rappers, by the way, I'm not, and you say, hey, bro, get on this with me. It's gonna be the Made in 1980s album. Me and you, we go 14 tracks, no skits, no features, just me and you, back and forth. I'm going into it to take your fucking head off,
and that's fine,
because this album has to be. I'm not gonna be like, no, I ain't gonna say that, because that ain't gonna, that Camp's verse ain't gonna. I don't feel like a person should hold himself back. And then we also have to take this under consideration. In the early 2000s to 2000s, everybody that was able to do one album started a record label.
For sure.
Everybody felt like I'm record label CEO worthy. And that was a terrible time in music.
Yeah. Oh, well, it was terrible optically. You know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, hey, look, you may not have bought Pimp Squad Kliq, but you did like Young Dro though.
True.
So, and maybe Young Dro don't sign. I mean, maybe Atlantic don't sign Young Dro. So thank God that T.I. will give him a deal.
Yeah, but that shit wasn't for everybody.
Yes.
Like literally.
No, for sure.
That 10 years, if you was lucky enough to get a platinum selling album, your second album came with your record label.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody did that shit. It was so fucking annoying to me.
Yeah. And you know, it's so I want to circle back to your original stance because I think I've blurred the line a little bit. So I do want to be clear. I'm okay with the fact that Jim Jones may be approaching music like, I want the best verse on this song. I'm trying to kill Jewels and Cam if I can. You know, whatever. I'm okay with that. What I'm personally not okay with is that the dude that put out, let's go all the way back because Jim is around. Horse and Carriage, What Means the World to You, Let Me Know, Oh Boy, Hey Ma, and then Dipset Anthem. And that's just the light ones because we can go Welcome to New York City and all that.
Yeah.
And then you get balling. And now you on my level. Nah, bro, like that's not how it go. No, you have motion. You got motion. And that's cool. Your emotion is fine. Cam's in the balling video. Yeah. He got motion. That's cool. That's cool to be like, okay, boom. And you know what? I'll give another Certified Gangsters. But we had two. We had 2 to like 10 though. That's if the game point is 11, I got 10 and you got 2. How the fuck you beating me? I need one more. How you beating me and it's 2 to 10 and it's 2-10 me? Like that's my problem. And to now put an arm out here, 50 saw that.
You did.
50 saw that and exposed it. Remember, listen, this is why I love 50 Cent. He's one of my favorite human beings, let alone favorite rap people. And I do think in time, people should recognize G-Unit as maybe, as far as factions go, they are number one. And this reasoning is why. Because 50 knows the strengths and weaknesses of everybody, not just Banks and Yayo, not just Uncle Murder and Mobb Deep and MOP and Mace and Olivia. He knew what Dipset is doing, what Wu-Tang is doing, what Rockefeller State Property. He knew what everybody was doing. And he was like, there's a way for me to get to the top of this shit. Like, because people to this day will argue that 50 beat Jadakiss and Fat Joe in a rap battle, and he got out rapped. But they'll still be like, he won.
Yeah. I mean, but you still got people saying Drake won against K-Dot, but
oh yeah, well we don't deal with the mentally ill, bro. We just we do other things.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, some people biasly say things.
Yeah, but the bias though, I literally in real time, it was like, yeah, man, Jada snapping, but man, I just don't know. 50, I don't know. I was like, piggy banking even hard though. They were like, I don't know. I was like, I mean, 50, because it's people so ready and waiting for 50 just to do something. He's already psyched the public out, like, yeah, man, but y'all ain't, you don't want to get Ja Rule. Remember that? Like, that was a thing. That was a thing. Like, it was the two verbs or adjectives, depending on how it was presented to you. Oh, you don't want to get ethered.
Yeah.
And you don't want to get Ja Rule. Those were two things that were happening in a 3-year period. So by the time we get to 06, I don't know what I'm more afraid of, getting ethered or getting Ja Ruled. I don't know which one is worse. So that is, and so to me, You know, I mean, because look, this literally, let's give him a little more history. How does 50 Cent get involved in all this? I'm not sure people are asking. There's a classic radio interview, and I think it's Angie Martinez. 50 Cent is on the air being 50 Cent. Talking how people ain't got no money, talking about, you know what I'm saying? How like niggas broke, starving, you like it's up, we'll do whatever you with. And he was laughing at somebody's misfortune. I do know that. He was laughing at somebody's misfortune, and Styles P called. And they got into a live argument, like on the radio. And he was like, and Styles P, because Styles P, hey, look, my favorite Locks number, one of my favorite rappers ever, too, by the way. He was like, yo, this is really effed up what you're doing. He's like, yo, somebody about to do some time and go away, and you talking all this craziness. He was like, dude, he was like you're a foul nigga, basically. And P was going in. And then and 50 said a couple of things that have always stuck with me, Wang. Because in one piece of it, Styles was like, yo, you know, my family taken care of. I got a house, you know, I got a bank account. Look, I'm good. You know, I'm still in the hood, blah, blah, blah. And then 50 Cent told him, he was like, yo, man, he was like, people that say money can't change them just ain't made enough. And that totally blew my mind. I was like, wait, maybe he's right. Maybe he's right. Because he said people that say money that can't change them just ain't made enough. And I was like, whoa. Like, yo, that. And I was like, hey, this is my guy. Hey, these are my guys. Curtis Jackson and David Styles are my guys. I love these gentlemen. And to hear them arguing on both sides of this spectrum, it really had me thinking, like, damn, I don't even want to pick a side in this. Like, these are really my two guys. And literally after he said that, Wang, you know what 50 did after that? He offered to broker Styles P next record deal. I said, oh, wow. We weren't using the phrase back then, but young people, this is what y'all call diabolical. Because he's fresh off of beefing with the Locks. And he totally 180. It was like, you know who I think should broker Styles P next deal? And he said, who? He said 50 Cent. And then from there, right, he was like, yo, I'm good, bro. I'm about to go over to Koch and get the $7 an album off the copies and all of that. He was like, yo, I'm going to do my independent hustle. I ain't going to be worried about going gold and platinum. I can make $7 an album, blah, blah, blah. And then, because I'm gonna use, even though this is made in the 1980s, and I'm speaking to a different time, I'm going to use a lot of today's terminology to keep talking, okay? Because I don't want to lose the young people that are tuning in. So as he says that, 50 calls Cap. He was like, he said, artists are not getting $7 an album over there. Like, I talked with dude, whoever the I forget who the CEO is over there was at Koch at the time before it became E1. He was like, I talked to dude, people ain't getting $7 an album. He was like, you don't think I'm going to Koch if y'all getting $7 an album? And he off the massacre saying this.
Right.
And he was like, he said, y'all not getting $7 an album over there, bro. He was like, look, we can do business, we can talk. He was like, it was basically like, yo, it ain't even gotta be like this. He's like, but don't be fooled. People just throwing out numbers. Everybody not getting $7 an album over there. That's all 50 said. You know what, Wang? That's all Cameron needed to hear. Because all of a sudden somebody was on hold. and you know who was on hold? That's right, Cameron Giles. And Cam was like, yo, I don't know what all this is, but yo, hey, I'm getting $7 an album. He was like, so I don't know what the fuck you talking about with all these other niggas and all this other. And 50 was like, Cam, he was like, you in a different space. He's like, but you're a marquee act. You came over there with platinum plaques as a solo album. He's like, so maybe you are. Like, that's what's so wild about this. 50 Cent really never jumped out the window on Cam.
No.
So he brought it on himself. And that's where the famous Curtis, like, and Cam is going crazy. I don't know why he did it. I don't know what made him just make this decision, but it's the decision he made. And then that's where the plot thickens, because, you know, they trade tracks back and forth. Very lackluster beef, by the way. I'm not even going to front. I did the Curtis song is funny, but it ain't great. And
it's a terrible song.
You know what I'm saying? It's just Curtis. Like, that's the only part.
Cold for about a month.
Yeah, for sure. And then 50
named Curtis.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And then 50's best part of his track when he was like, Cameron, you better learn how to speak to me. That was the best part of his song. So I was like, okay. But the chess move then began, because 50 names his album Curtis.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, young people that may be listening, that's what you call taking advantage of a trending topic. Because first people were calling 50 Cent Curtis. And he was like, hey, you know what? Well, I'll just make that the album then. I'll make that the album. And then he did the whole marketing thing with 50 with the Kanye West and all that, blah, blah, blah. But saying all that to say, from there, 50's in war mode. And two important things happened that I do believe set up what we're talking about today. And this is why I'm going back. And I'll make them, they're not footnotes, but let me just fast forward to the summary. What begins to happen is, in this whole process, Cam is kind of fading back on music for whatever reason. If y'all remember the infamous, hey, look at the palm trees, look at the pool. I'm on vacation. that was the first time, like, hey, every time Cam is on vacation, you can't wait to tell you he's on vacation. And it's always the most hilarious thing. But in that time, I wear a mean dark pair of shades, drops, Ballin' is out, and Ballin' gets motion. Ballin' takes off. The first Dipset song under the umbrella that's a runaway hit, and I'll give it the respect of being a hit, without Cam'ron on it. Just go back in time. Name the song that was a hit record or that had any motion that didn't have Cam on it. You can't, because there were none. So, no joke, it is a big moment, because Cam's even on both versions of Certified Gangsters. So that's a big moment. So what does 50 do? 50 ain't forgot how Cam spoke to him. Curtis did Gold, and it's okay. It's not a great album. It's not Get Rich. It's not The Massacre, but Andy lost to Kanye, you know, for Curtis versus Graduation.
Yeah.
But the chess move begins. He's doing the show. I forget what city. But all of a sudden, I wear a mean dark pair of shades, and Jim Jones and Joel Santana are walking out on stage during a 50 Cent set in the middle of the back and forth between 50 Cent and Cam'ron. And the only thing I remember after that moment, Wang, was Cam saying, that was wild. I would have never been able to get Lloyd Banks and Tony Yayo to do that to 50 Cent. And for me, Wang, it's been something ever since.
Yes, I completely agree with everything you just said. But it also takes me back to whatever, because like I said, the tension was there prior to that. that just solidified that there was tension. That let the world know that there was something going on in the diplomat community.
Yes.
Jim was 1,000,000% wrong for that shit. Jewels as well, but Jewels was smart enough to keep his distance from all these beefs. Shout out to Jewels. He was the only one that was smart enough to, hey, I'm gonna let them niggas do whatever it is they doing, and I'm gonna go lose my teeth. But, but Jim was 1,000,000% wrong for that. But like I said, that let us know that them niggas, it wasn't I'm not fucking with him. Them two niggas hated each other for a while. Like they had a disdain for each other.
Yeah, I can potentially see that for sure.
And again, not giving Jim a pass because, like I said, he was 1,000,000% wrong. I don't know the culture of Harlem outside of DIPSET.
Right. Same.
And one thing that I've learned in learning the culture of Harlem via DIPSET is one thing a Harlem nigga gonna do is he gonna get some money.
For sure.
And even in a recent interview, Jimmy even explained like shit was fucked up over there. Me and this nigga, we was not seeing eye to eye at all. G Unit is the biggest group out right now. Ballin' is the biggest song out right now. I wasn't thinking like that. I was thinking money.
Yeah, but see.
And I'm not saying that's okay because I feel like you should be loyal over money. But they wasn't fucking with each other. Like I said, that told me everything I need to know without either one of them gentlemen saying anything. Like Jim Jones was really on some fuck this nigga shit.
Right. Because and the only reason why I want to stop that there because where was that energy for Jay-Z then? In real time. Before balling. Where was that energy for Jay-Z? If everything is supposed to be what we have been told it was, where was that energy for Hov?
That man, I hated that whole situation.
Yeah.
Like that whole I don't like the way Hov was moving. I respect the way Cam moved on that situation because nigga, fuck you. But no, I can't even rebuttal on that. Well, yeah, where was that energy?
Yeah, because
it's like was Dame in the middle of that one? I don't know.
Right. And see, here's my problem with rappers. This is not now we're gonna open the scope a little bit, right? Because on one hand, oh, it's about money. We got to get the bag, get this paper. We need, you know what I'm saying? Like everybody want to do the hustle, right? But it's so skewed. It's so strategized and stratified and like it's kind of, well, you know what, them, we'll run on them, but we ain't gonna run on them. And I don't like that because
choose.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like you like I don't like the picking and choosing of battles because when Jay was probably arguably or unarguably the hottest rapper on earth after Takeover versus Ether, while they got Dipset Anthem, while Welcome to New York City was out, and then even when whatever starts happening with Cam and Hov, I didn't see the members of Dipset trying to collab or come out on a J show or a State Property show. No, they start dissing Memphis Bleak.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They making it clear they only fuck with Freeway and PD Crack. Like they're doing things that, okay, but here's another situation where Cam got a problem with the head honcho over there. Y'all ain't this yayo. Y'all ain't come for Banks.
No.
You go out, you hop your happy ass there on stage and have your record played. I don't like that. I just don't like that.
No, dude, nasty work.
Yeah, hey. So you know, I am that's one layer of it for me. I wanna now here's where you get what you pay for. Here's where you get, you know what I'm saying? Because I thought long and hard about this. Pause if necessary. Yes, Dipset. We're gonna say pause. And there's another question I want to ask you as we progress the conversation. Now that we have information of where we believe the turmoil began, so we're both kind of in agreement. I'm sorry, not kind of in agreement. We're both in agreement that between 05 to 07, a rift happened somewhere in there, and it ain't been right since.
Right.
So my next question to you, Wang, is this. Why does Jim Jones want Cameron away from Mace?
Oh, okay. I'll say this. Because at one point in time, before whatever happened, Cam has said it, Joel has said it, Zeke has said it, and Jim lived by it for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I love this man so much. I go to war for this man. I die for this man. I'll do anything for Cameron Giles.
Mm-hmm.
That's my brother.
Mm-hmm.
So on the come up, which a lot of people didn't see. Well, we talked about it on the Diplomat episode.
Mm-hmm.
Cam broke bad. No, excuse me. Mace broke bad on Cam. And maybe Jimmy really felt a way about how that whole ordeal happened. Maybe he was ready to, get on Mace's ass. Pause. Mm-hmm. Like maybe it was whatever, because Cameron never really said. When they asked him, like, where's Mace? Oh, Mace had some family stuff he had to take care of, but it's cool. It's up. He sugarcoated it.
Mm-hmm.
But them niggas was beefing. Like they was like really, really fucking beefing. And maybe Jim, because like I said, they always said it, Jim was the muscle of Dipset.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe Jim was just like, no, nigga, I was ready to fucking kill this nigga for you, and now y'all just tell me again. Cause I really want to go so much further into this conversation because things have been said over the last 2 weeks, and I'm just like, nigga, so did you. Like that type of shit. I'm not even gonna go, but I think rumors have been told about what happened with Cam and Mace.
Right.
It's all been rumor mill. Nobody
Right.
knows for sure.
So right there. Okay. But thanks to $1 million worth of game,
Yeah.
and the start of it is what it is, we know the truth now.
Enlighten me, because I ain't gonna lie, I didn't see the episode with $1 million worth of game where they were on there talking. I didn't see that. Okay. I didn't see.
So literally to sum it up, no street shit happened with Cam and Mace. Music business shit happened to Cam and Mace.
Okay, I kind of figured that.
And from just the explanation from Mace's side, Mace signed the Bad Boy, and it looked like he had millions of dollars. Mace was like, I don't. And Cam felt that Mace was trying to shine on him and was, not giving him money and not withholding information and not, just going through the process and the channels that they had the years prior when they were on the grind and the come up. Now, with that, the beef started because Mace asked Cam to be paid to be in the video for Horse and Carriage. That's why he's not in the video.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I remember that.
Now, they've now summed that up to a miscommunication about not understanding the business, because what it was supposed to be like, and I don't know the numbers, so I'm just going to use a round number. Cam is shooting the Horse and Carriage video. His label has a budget for that. What Cam was supposed to do was say, hey, yo, Mace said he'll be in the video, but it's going to be $10,000. The budget comes to the budget comes out of there. He gives 10 grand to Mace, and then they bust that down, and he just gets some of his back, and they both end up with 5, or you just give Mace 10 as a, hey, yo, good looking. Cam took that as, nigga, you know I don't have $10,000 to give you to be in this fucking video. You on. I'm trying to get on. This is my moment. Dog, you already got Feel So Good looking at me, all this other shit. Like, I don't have the money. And so then their relationship goes sour with that moment. Now, at the same time, though, Mace got his own problems with Bad Boy. And we don't know this. That's why the Double Up album sounds the way it sounds. And like on the last track on the album, he literally is in this verse, and he said, if I had to do it all again, I would do it for Christ. And he's talking about leaving, embracing religion and leaving the rap game by the time he gets to the end of the Double Up album. So then he goes to Atlanta, becomes a pastor, all of that. But they never talk about that. Right. So the $1 million worth of game episode is just Mace clarifying that. He was like, bro, he was like, I know what it looked like, but it wasn't that. Like, basically, and this is me, paraphrasing here, or just, selling y'all some entertainment. Hey, that Money in the Feel So Good video, I had to give that shit back. like, yo, that shiny suit, no, hey, I had to return that. I didn't have none of that was mine. Like, I didn't know I was gonna recoup. I didn't sell the 7 million and get paid for it yet. I'm just rapping like it. So with that, Cam and Mace are able to reconcile. And now when they have the moments where people are asking them questions, and you learn that Mace is the reason why Cam got his deal, and we learned why he introduced him to Big, who introduced him to versus introducing them to Puff.
Right.
Like, and it all makes sense. And for me, Wang, and I'll let you go after this, but for me, when I learned this kind of information about Cam and Mace and the reasons why he did what he did, I now think that Jim Jones has been trying to stall this moment the whole time.
I see your point in that, because me personally, I'm a firm believer in if I'm one of those your beef is my beef type of people, and then the person that we supposed to be beefing with, because you beefing with them, you ain't beefing with them no more. What reason do I have to beef with them anymore? I don't got to be his friend, but I don't have to be. Why am I going out of my way to whoop this dude? Why am I going out of my way to check this nigga? Because y'all chummy now.
Exactly. And even with that, let's say after Old Boy and whatever, because obviously Cam took I don't even want to call it shots. Well, a shot is Welcome to New York City when he was like Axe Mace, he ran to Atlanta, right? But like on Sports, Drugs, and Entertainment on the album, he was like, yo, Mace, left, and he's like, but I'm the devil's advocate, like whatever. I forgot what he said. But imagine this world though, Wang, because Mace does come back to the game.
Yeah.
If Mason Cam talk in 2001, after Come Home With Me, and now he's on Diplomatic Immunity.
Yeah, there's no Jimmy on that album. At all. At all.
Because
he was gonna get the Uncasa intro. Baby.
Right. Because and it's definitely not to say that Mace is automatically Dipset, but if Cam and Mace are cool, by the time they get motion with Dipset Anthem, I don't think Freeway's on the album. I think Mason Jewels Do My Love.
I'm not gonna lie to you. That'd be hard for me to even grasp, honestly, with Mace being on the Dipset album, being as to how Mace was like introduced to the world on a mass. Like, yeah, I understand he was Murder Mace and all of that. Was it Murder Mace Mussolini or something like that?
Yeah.
I got Harlem Shake, Shiny Suit, Where the Bitches At Mace.
Yeah, hey.
Right. So it was always funny to hear Mace talk greasy. like that was always funny for like to know Mace's history versus the music Puff had him putting out. I heard like Mace talking street shit was just funny to me. I ain't even gonna hold you. Like, that shit was fucking hilarious to me. Like, man, hey man, cut it the fuck out, fam. Like, you got the green shiny suit on, you and Diddy and shit with the flash.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
hey, Mace was my guy too. I love Mace.
Like, Mace had a little two-step and shit. Like,
you know what I'm saying?
Oh, greasy. But then I'm older and I hear some of his old shit before all of that was just like, okay, Mace talking that shit. But like to bring it into like what's going on right now.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody talking, but ain't nobody saying shit. And that's what I don't like about it.
Yeah.
Like, everybody's talking, and I'm just talking about these two gentlemen. I don't give a fuck about people inserting themselves and I was just shut up.
Right.
You clout chasing right now.
For sure.
But like their arguments. Is it okay if we dive into the it is what it is rant?
For sure, absolutely. I mean, hey, look, hey, that's why we here.
I don't like anything about that rant. I don't like anything about that rant because until whatever happened, because we still don't. Well, we just use because let's just do until Jewels and Jill got on the stage with 50.
Mm-hmm.
We just use that as the breaking point.
Okay.
So that way it's some type of clarity. We use that as the breaking point.
Mm-hmm.
Until then, Jill was your right-hand man.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it was just for music aesthetics. Or maybe he really was your right-hand man. But when you talking about mob type shit and you're calling him a capo, from what everybody was saying, and I do mean everybody, Jimmy was moving like your capo in real life. Him and whoever he can get to follow up behind him was making sure, for the most part, because like you said, the whole situation, like anything that was going on, like as far as like some street shit or some shit that happened or somebody that said something, Jim was the one pressing them, whether it was a hard press or a soft press.
Right.
Okay, so you got that. I ain't never need. Sometimes you don't have to ask because sometimes a person is overly loyal to you and they'll just give you that. I'm saying that's what happened because I don't know.
No, I got you.
But I've been in situations where I've been overly loyal to people and you can't say nothing bad to that person because I'm snuffing you on sight. Whether this person to do it for themselves or not, I'm going to do it for them because I was that loyal to that person.
Okay, I dig it.
Like I said, I'm not saying that was their dynamic. I'm just kind of speaking like, yes, this shit.
Speaking to that mindset.
Yeah. So he went on a rant where he was talking about how everybody that was under him is locked up and in jail. Like I said, I've had a loyalty to a person to where it was on site if you said something ill or fucked up about this person. Now, if just like I said, just speaking, if Jimmy was really moving like that for you at one point in time, that means the people that was under him was moving for him and they moved for you too. Because he brought them in solely to do that. Oh shit. Ballin just took off. I can't beat a nigga out G-checking everybody. Because now I got people under me with Purple City Bird Gang and all the Bird Gang movement, the Vent Life, all of that. Like I got people under me now. So now I gotta move like my boss was moving.
So
and then you got okay, I'll just leave it with that. Because I got dude, that rant, dude, fucked me up.
I got you. And this is where I become controversial. Probably not only you, but to the rest of the hip-hop community and the things that we have seen probably the last 30 years. But I'm going to go back to my two favorite examples, Sean Carter and Curtis Jackson. I'm going to go back to these guys because for me, I want to be clear because I'm not switching to the other side of the fence here. I've always been on the side of the fence. It was odd to me that Cam had motion, DIPSET was a thing. They're going platinum and gold. They got hundreds of thousands to millions of dollars coming in. And now Jim Jones is a gangbanger. That didn't make sense to me. It never made sense to me. And me knowing the little bit about the music business I knew at the time, that didn't seem like the right thing to do. Why didn't that seem like the right thing to do? Let's rewind. 1998-99, Hard Knock Life, the album and the tour, biggest thing moving in the world. And they did MTV did a My Life episode on just Jay-Z, Day in the Life of. And you know what? One of the most wild, hilarious, but unfortunate pieces of content within that episode, Beanie Siegel hopping the velvet rope to attack a woman in the crowd that he felt threw a drink at them and was disrespecting them. And Jay was just like, we can't have that. Fast forward, Blueprint album, 2001. Mama Loves Me. Siegel, I ain't trying to change you, just give you some game to make the transition from the street to the fame. Here's my look, Cameron. I ain't always hustle. I was Mace muscle. But how much street shit was Cam into when Feel So Good came out? And then when 357 and Horse and Carriage came out. And let's be clear, they were kids.
Yeah.
By the time Dipset is moving and all of that's a thing, these niggas is like 27 years old. I'm from where you from, Wang. We're from the same region. Correct me if I'm wrong. You don't start gangbanging at 25, right? So what we talking about here? Hey, I get it. I get it. I promise to God I get it. But here's the deal. And this is where this is why I can't get into Jim Jones, even though I'm not going to say I don't like anything about him, because he obviously has vision. He obviously has style. He's a great director of videos. He's an excellent production picker, like a good beat picker for songs and things of that nature. But I've always felt a way about the fact that, bro, you were not in the gang when Let Me Know was out.
No.
You were not. So,
I mean, to be honest, you never heard of East Coast rappers talk about gang life, period.
Hey. And that has always been my what? Because back to our Dipset bitch episode. Fast forward. Well, rewind a little bit. Diplomat Community is out. Dipset Anthem is out. I'm on the west side of Chicago looking for a bus down. Do you know how many young people that I knew in or from Chicago that loved Dipset, that were already vice lords as teenagers? Some of them worked for me. Now on the street, I was a retail manager. Some of them worked for me. And when they saw the red flags representing Dipset now they know they doing the right thing. Now they like, oh no, hey, them niggas lords. I don't think that's the right. I was like, bro, they just started doing that. I don't stay here. I'll give you more hours. Hey, I don't think, hey, yo, come kick it with me. I got girls and the grill. Like, I'm having the cookout. Come here, come to my crib. Let's kick it. But they at the taste flagged up, Dipset, airbrush on. But really in the gang and been in it though. Been in it before Hey Ma was out. So they don't even realize that he in essence following them. And that's always been my discrepancy, because ain't no beef. I don't know Jim Jones. I ain't got no beef with Jim Jones. But that's always been my discrepancy. It's like, bro, you were in your late 20s, and then gang culture became part of your promotion, and y'all millions of dollars up and millions of copies sold at this point. That's always been my issue with them.
I'll say this, because I'm pretty sure you noticed it as well. Early 2000s is when gang culture became big for rap music.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it wasn't about being, like, think about it, 90s, yes, gangster rap, peak of gangster rap, everybody was gangsters.
Mm-hmm.
But nobody was affiliated, or, dude, like, you really didn't hear about any rapper being affiliated with a gang outside of Snoop.
Thank you. I literally was going to go there. That Snoop, there's only a handful of people on this planet I give a pass.
You knew
And,
Dub C was a Crip. You knew
yep,
Snoop was a Crip. You knew Mac 10 was a Blood.
yep. All and with that said, those are the only people I give a pass are the West Coast gangsters. Why? Because that's how they came in. Snoop wasn't a Crip after What's My Name.
Right.
Snoop was a Crip on Deep Cover.
Right.
Snoop a Crip now.
Like the only other people, the only other rap, let's just say rap culture of people that openly gangbang other than the West Coast was Chicago.
Yes. Yes, that's been it. That was it for the longest time. And because you have to go to Memphis to know
Yes.
that gangs is like that. But 3-6 Mafia music, they let you know what time it is down there, but they not really, even they're not in the aspect of like, yo, you know, this our set and this is what we doing with it. They're just letting you know, oh no, if you ain't claiming GD, if you ain't claiming VL and all that, they got the song and put your sign in his face, gang sign in his face. Hey, look, I get it, but even them, they like, you know, DJ Paul was never like flagged up, you know what I'm saying, and banging nothing, throwing nothing up, but and that was a Chicago and the California thing, because I know everybody's not from necessarily LA, but yeah, see that and that always struck a chord with me personally, Wayne. I'm going to say personally, and I'm not in no gang, but I just knew, I was like, wait a minute. So this is the decision you're making. Like, this ain't like you officially don't have the same story, because even New Yorkers are like, yo, it's New York gangbangers now. It's New York gang members now. That was even new to the street dudes in New York. That was new to them. The dudes that have been outside, Fat Joe's not in the gang.
No.
Fat Joe never said he was a Latin king. They're Terror Squad. And from what we learned, it's a lot scarier than being any gang, any other gang. The Terror Squad was scary as fuck, apparently. So, hey, I don't know. So yeah, that for me. So I'm sorry. So not to keep harping on that point, but to move it forward. So for me, Wayne, is just like this. You know, we also seen 50 Cent free Tony Ayo. Why? Because why was it free Tony Ayo the campaign? Because free Tony Ayo was wild. But when he got home, hey, look, no matter how we feel about the album, when he came home, 50 put him in the studio, said, hey, relax. We don't gotta do that no more. I'm Diamond. Banks just sold 3 mil. This new dude, a Buck that we got is on the way to 2 mil. Now you're up. And he severed ties with like Bang'em Smurfing them for whatever reason. And the reason might be because he wasn't ready to get off the street shit so they could be successful and move forward. See, that's and as we and present day, and I'm glad the young people are seeing this and hearing all of this to a degree, because the opposite of getting away with it, like Dipset did, is what happened with Thug.
Yeah.
That's the literal opposite. What happens when the random niggas that want to ride for you start doing shit? What happens when they start riding? They go out in the streets. Oh, I don't like the new Thug album. Nigga, what the fuck you say? Ah. Now what? But now look who's in trouble. Now look who is about to do life. That ain't cool.
No. But the fucked up part is, back then, like you said, to become a gang member at the age of 27 is the fucking weirdo work. Because we're not even going to, period. I'm not even going to try to justify it. That's weirdo work. But it was, back then, it was imagery.
Mm-hmm.
Like Chris Brown, you fucking dance and do flips and shit, but now you a blood.
Yeah. See? Yeah, hey, and even him, 19, 20, that's still too late.
Too late.
It's
Too late.
too late.
It's like it became like an imagery thing to where it's like if I'm a gangster rapper, I got to be affiliated. And for some reason, being affiliated with the Bloods was the cooler thing to do. You know, oh, just it's weirdo work. You know, you're 27 years old.
Wayne, you too.
You know,
Carter too. We the same age. I know how old you are.
Right, you know, and for me to be 41, goddamn it, shit, hell, I've been doing. I ain't gonna say I've been doing it because I'm too old to be doing it. I just sat my old ass down, but you can't. Old habits die hard. I feel a fucked up story. Then we get back to the topic. I'm at work. I had got cool with this cat from Chicago named Tim. Super cool dude from Chicago. He's a little older than I was, maybe 2-3 years. My brother JoJo, dude, I mean, I've been knowing this man, since I was like 7, 8 years old. We was all in the same game, though. So I hadn't seen JoJo in many, many years. He had moved to Chicago. You know, we stayed in touch like via social media and shit, but he moved back to the town. I'm getting off work. He coming in. I work second, he worked third. What's happening, bro? We shake hands. I don't even realize that I dapped him up. I don't got a fucking clue that I had even dapped him up like that. And Tim was like, what happened, folks? What? Fuck you talking about, Tim? What happened, folks?
He's like, you know what that is? And y'all the Midwest too?
Fuck you, Tim. Like, I know old habits die hard, man.
Yeah.
I'm like, you being from Chicago, you know how many times a day that handshake happens.
Yeah. For sure.
That handshake is going to happen 30, 40 fucking times in an hour, depending on who you're standing around.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But anyways, that was the old thing. I ain't got time for that shit no more.
Hey, but see that and I want to be clear though, because I'm glad you shared that though, because it is the people like you and the people like Snoop who you have nothing but respect for it, because you're not active. You're not putting in the work in the street, nor are you encouraging young people to put in any work in the street. Absolutely. You are on the path of just greater, you know what I'm saying? Higher earning, entrepreneurship, leadership. Like, you know, Snoop is still a Crip now, but Snoop is also the most famous, most iconic rap figure and face on the planet. And he don't get there by sending niggas on dummy missions. He don't get there by pushing a message of destruction.
Right.
To not only younger people, but to the people around him. You know what I'm saying? So like, they're like, regardless. And again, I may sound like a dinosaur. I may sound like a punk to some people that's talking, but this is my deal, bro. It ain't even got to be $1 million. Let me get $250,000. Niggas are to act right around me.
No, that ain't you sounding like a punk or none of that. That shit, that's you sounding like a fucking adult.
Right? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's like once money comes in, once real money comes in, like more money than I've ever seen in my life, money where I can be like, oh, you know what? I could pay my mom's house off and be good. Or I could set this for my daughter's college and be good. I could give my wife this and I'm still like good. Oh, niggas got to move different.
That goes back to one of your questions. Do you blame fame or 50 Cent. Now, this is where the fame part comes in because even now, what, Jimmy pushing 50 is 50?
Yeah.
You still trying to run around here like a YN. Bro, be cool.
Dog, yo, be cool. Like, because the rant, it was funny to me.
It was hilarious.
But it was funny, but it was like, damn, it's really here. I mean, and you know what? But to be fair to Cam, though, he really, the only thing he said that was new from like 8 or 10 years ago was that everybody that put hands on you cool with. That was, hey, now that was wild. That was wild.
But he can't. But you got to be careful with. Don't get me wrong. It's true. Mm-hmm. Everybody that he, like I said, him and Mandisi, they busting at each other.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Now they cool. But Cam, you were just beefing with 50. Now y'all cool. You was beefing with Bass. Now y'all cool. You got to chill on that.
That's true.
The whole BMF chased you to the water. What about that video you get chased around that car? You got to chill on that.
That's true.
You ain't from Harlem. You was born in Atlantic City, and Mace was born in Jackson, Florida. What are we talking about?
Let's go.
Now, this is the one that really blows my mind, though.
Yeah.
It's you so Harlem. You let a nigga from from Brooklyn rep Harlem like this for all of these years, and you never said nothing.
Jim from the Bronx, yeah.
Jim being from the Bronx. Like, I can't move to Chicago tomorrow and rep the Hundreds.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I can't.
They were like, hey, is your grandma over here at least, bro? Like,
it might be some cats over there that I done got cool with, but I can't be running around like, yeah, I'm from the Hundreds. No, nigga, you live in the Hundreds. You're not from here.
Yeah.
You're from Freeport.
Hey.
So what type of suck ass nigga is you, Cam, for letting a nigga from the Bronx that was a fan be your capo, and you let him rep Harlem? The man got a Harlem World tattoo.
Yeah, that's true.
That don't say much about you.
Fair,
That's
extremely
what I
fair.
like about that rant. That's the thing that I did not like about that run. You ain't even from Harlem. Neither are you.
You
grew up in Harlem. Mace was a young boy when he moved from Florida to Harlem. So how come that don't pertain?
Yeah, right. Yeah. If it's like that for Jim, it's got to be like that for all of y'all.
It's got to be like, okay, and I'll even give Cam a pass. Cam was born in Atlantic City. When did he move to Harlem? He might only knows Harlem. He don't know Atlantic City. He probably don't know Atlantic City. So that's like how I give Ludacris the pass to say that Luda's from Atlanta, even though he was born in Illinois.
Yeah.
He moved when he was like 6 or 7 years old, some shit like that. He's been in Atlanta his entire life. Luda's from Atlanta.
Yeah, but you know what though? Hold up.
But with Mace, like I said, I'm gonna give Cam the pass.
Yeah.
I can't give Mace the pass now. Mace, you from Florida.
Yeah, he wasn't even born in the state of New York.
You wasn't even born in the state of New York for years before you moved to Harlem.
Yeah.
So if you take in Jim's pass of being Harlem because he was from the Bronx, you got to take Mace's pass and sit his ass down there with Uncle Lou. Because that's only fair based off what you said.
No, hey, listen. No, I agree with you. Because you know, Black people are so we so crazy about geography. We are. We just so crazy about geography.
You ain't fucking lying.
Because like even the piece of me, like when you were saying, I'll give Luda being from Atlanta. I was like, but he was born in Champaign and he lived in Oak Park until he was like 13. I was like, oh, like I mean, granted, he's still a kid. You know what I'm saying? Like, but You know, like, here's the child. He's not able to make his own decisions. But yeah, hey, look, but he built his career, his name, and his legacy in Atlanta. So
Yes.
and that's fine. You know, hey,
Like
listen.
you're not gonna snatch the West Coast. You're not gonna snatch the West Coast from Nate Dogg.
Right. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Hey, and you know what? The crazy flip about it is you would think Tupac lived in California his whole life.
His entire life. Tupac didn't move to fucking California until he was grown.
Like
that nigga was like 18, 19, some shit like that.
Yeah. So, you know, and then 18, 19, and lived to be 25. So, you know, it's so geography is so tricky with us. But you're right, though. That's why, you know what, no matter who I was around and no matter where I am, I'd be like, well, I'm from Illinois. They'd be like, oh, we're Chicago. It's like, nah, Freeport. And I was like, and it's not me trying to like grandstand, brag, or boast or anything. It's like, it's not, I'm not, you know, Scarface told us your ghetto ain't no harder than mine. But yeah, I mean, your zip code don't make you tough. You know what I'm saying? Like it's weak dudes everywhere, and it's tough dudes everywhere. So I always make it the point to be like, you know what? Because I do it because I don't want nobody thinking I'm ever fronting on the town. Because I'm never fronting on the town. That's one. And then two, because I know what's inside of me, pause. And I'm gonna rep that over any zip code that I don't own. like you're dealing with the heart and soul of me, regardless of where I can decide to live in Wyoming tomorrow. It ain't gonna change who the fuck I am in here.
Bro, I'm telling you, one of my biggest pet peeves is when people go to a bigger city in another state, and now you ain't from the homeland no more.
Yo, yes, that's at the top of my list too.
I fucking hate that shit. I can move to fucking Antarctica tomorrow. 815 bread.
Yes, facts.
To the day I motherfucking die.
Facts.
It's not gonna change. I don't give a fuck. Yes, you move places and you embrace their slang, and sometimes you either grab an accent because it's what you're around.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, I'm not from Houston. Right. I'll never be from Houston.
Yep.
I don't give a fuck how long I've been there. I'll never be from Houston. I'm 41 years old. I could live to be 97, and I could be in fucking Arizona from 41 to 97. When people say, "Hey, where you from?" I live in Arizona. I'm from Freeport.
Yep, absolutely.
That should have never changed for me.
Yeah. Hey, look, I'm 43. I'll be 44 this year. And still to this day, the place I've spent the most of my life has been Freeport, Illinois. So ain't no mistaking it. Like, that's where I'm from. I have yet to live a decade anywhere else, let alone 18 solid years straight. So it would make no sense for me to tell anybody anything other than that. So I do feel you on that. It's again, man, hey, look, Black folks in geography, man, I don't know what it is. But you know, like that Cam telling, hey, you know what it is, but it's so wild how that works though, right? Because the first time Cam said, yo, well, first of all, Jim ain't from Harlem, we were like, what?
Hey,
what the fuck do you mean? It was like, dog, like, what? What are you like? Are you the mayor? Did you move his birth certificate? What happened? And so now, obviously, for him to double down on it, and you know what? And here's the unfortunate part, to swinging it back to your point, because you are right. Because look what started this again. And you know, again, we picking and choosing how we want to start and stop beef or whatever. Again, I think the flip side, the only thing I'll give you slight pushback on with Cam is every publicized beef that Cam has had has not been street stuff. It has been literally rooted in music business and him feeling a way about business being done. Him and Mace was music business. Him and 50 was about him telling 50 about his business. So it's easier to piece that up because it's like, yo, why are you bugging? Like even 50 was like, Cam, like, what are you like? Where's all this even coming from? Like, what's up with you? And so now fast forward, they all can talk and see. And here's the conundrum for me. Here's the mind trick. Here's the Jedi mind trick, the mind fuck, all of it. You know, it was cool for Jim when he was able to come out and perform balling on the 50 Cent platform. But when Cam wanted to invite G-Unit to his platform and let 50 speak about some shit that happened to Cam, now they on yo dick. I didn't like that.
I did not like that statement.
Because it's like, bro, they wouldn't even have this story if it wasn't for you. The story that 50 and Cam should be able to say is, I mean, yeah, we was going through it and shit, but you know, I tried to get them niggas Jim and Jewels to come to my show, and they wasn't having it. But Jim's answer is, yeah, I did it. I was popping. 50 Cent was one of the biggest artists, and I dared somebody to say something or do something. It's like, bro, why? Why is that the mode when now you're literally in every aspect of the word getting your own motion, making your own bag, setting your own self up, and you willing to crash out over opinions? Why Snowfall is one of my favorite TV shows ever? Because that one moment when he was talking to homie in the car, when he says, I built this shit brick by brick, and I'll be damned if I'm gonna let you tear it down just because you don't like the way another nigga talk. And that's some of the realest stuff ever. It's like, bro, okay, you make the move. Okay, fine. And this is you in hindsight. So you're almost 50 saying this, pun intended, I guess. And you're like, I dared somebody to say something and we would have did this and that and the third. It's like, bro, while you're en route to getting your first platinum plaque.
Yes, you're right. But when you, and like I said, I'm really just kind of like speaking for Jim through me.
Mm-hmm.
When you're raised to be a crash out, that's all you really know how to do is crash out. Like, dude, that's a sad fucking truth. Yeah. Like growing up, I was literally, before being a crash out was even a thing, I was groomed to be a crash out for this particular person that I discussed earlier.
Yes, for sure.
I was groomed to be a crash out. And when I realized that I was groomed to be a crash out, because as long as I crashed out for this particular person, I wasn't allowed to even crash out for myself. If I crashed out for myself and I got pitched for it, I can't be out to crash out for them.
Wow.
So you mentally get brain fucked, Paul, when you're trained to be a crash out. Like, literally, motherfucker would disrespect me personally. Put their hands on. Motherfucker get word. What the fuck is wrong with you? Fuck you out here acting stupid for? You sit your motherfucking ass down for you laying yourself in jail. 3 days later, hey, slide by woo because woo said woo. Oh, now you want me to crash out.
Wow.
I was grown, bro. I was grown.
Yeah.
I was in my 20s. When I realized, like, nigga, you a fucking duck. What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Stupid.
Yeah.
Yes, nigga, you stupid. Like you are dumb. I was grown.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, like I said, I can't speak for Jim.
Right.
But being someone's muscle, I can speak for that.
Right.
And yes, you're mentally groomed to be a crash out, and you don't even realize that shit until it's either too late, you're too far gone, you're dead, you're in jail,
Yeah.
or just one day the light bulb clicks.
Right. Wow. Wow. Man. Powerful. Powerful. And man, hey, I'm clipping that. First of all. But because and I'm clipping it because people need to hear that. Like people really need to hear that because that is, you know, is very telling. And I know you're right. I know you're 1000% right. And I wasn't even around for this. I can take your word for it because again, let's fast forward present day. You know, meanwhile, you know, Cam doesn't want to talk about it. Mace has said he tried to mediate, but they're not on the same page to want to talk about it. And Jim is on Justin LeBoy's platform talking about how they don't want me to get upset because it could get dangerous, basically. Like XYZ could go down, and it's like, oh, wow. So here you are, late 40s, and you don't even want to have a conversation mediated by the person who gave you that will plant the first seed to your now career, and you don't want to have a conversation with just words with the person who helped you get to the position with the original seed planted. And that's disappointing.
It is, especially with the fact of, like you said earlier, you managed to dap it up with everybody else you done beef with. What's stopping you from dapping this one up?
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody else got the grace to be like, all right, we cool. Why you can't do that with this one? I said, I don't like this shit all the way around. I don't like none of it.
Right.
Like, I hate this.
Yeah.
Because just to sum it up, it's stupid.
Yeah.
It's stupid as fuck.
It is.
Y'all went so long. Y'all went so long, and y'all patch it up. Then y'all beef. Then y'all patch it up. Then y'all beef. But now it's to the point now where y'all really saying what y'all really feel about each other, which y'all should have said that when y'all patched it up the first time.
Well, see, that's where I'm going to stop you, Wayne. I don't think they patched it up.
You think
I don't think
cash grabs?
Hey, you know what? Yep. Hey, I think that's why Versus looked the way it did. I think that's why Versus looked the way it did.
Cash
because, yeah, because not that I have ever really been to a Cam, Jim, or a Dipset show. Not that I've ever been to one. But as a person who has tried to have a rap career, like a real one, where like you go to the studio, you produce a product, you try to sell that product, and then you go out and do shows, and you've done shows, and you do collaborative mixtapes, you do features, and you when they do a show, you do the song that y'all got together, and when they do a show, we do the song that we got together, and you set that up to build your motion. I can tell you from just that experience on my small ass scale, them niggas hadn't talked in a year. Easily. If anything, maybe a couple FaceTimes and some conversations, because even with the aspect of muscle memory, it shouldn't have looked like that. Because the show had gotten out of control, we didn't even realize that Jim Jones eventually went into his own medley of just shit he felt that should be played. And I was like, bro, like, I don't even know this record. Like, why is this playing? So for me, I think that it's been business because there is no personal. And I have a wrestling analogy, but I'm gonna let you speak before I get into it, because I like this is the segment that I've been waiting for to give this analogy. But yeah, for me, dog, it may seem small to people, but hey, look, excuse me, apologies. Even after that, I thought it was very telling for the fact that Jim Jones was willing to battle the Locks or just Jadakiss in the verses by himself. That's what he said he wanted to do when it was clear they lost. From a performance value, I still say performance. The song selections, the 20 for 20 was a lot closer than y'all think, because Wild Out did not beat Dipset Anthem. Y'all need to relax.
No.
Okay. So song selection was a lot closer than performance. Performance 20-0. There's a 200.
Oh yeah.
Performance 20-0. But hey, fuck you versus I'm ready. That's 1-1. And really, if I was gonna give it the one, it's for I'm ready. Don't ever get me confused. That's the shit. but the fact that even when that happened, though, Jim was like, yo, let's run it back. And I'll battle Jadakiss, you know what I'm saying? He the champ right now, or I'll go against the just the Locks, just versus me. And it's like, bro, you don't got 10.
Okay. Is this, even though he ain't from Harlem, is this, because I guess like we both agree, what we know about the culture of Harlem, we learn via Dipset.
Mm-hmm.
Is this the cocky arrogance that is a Harlem nigga?
To a degree. However, I think it's all about law number one. Jim wants to outshine the master. But the thing is, he's pushing for it, And these are the things. Hey, 50 let us know his psychology. If y'all check out the conversation that is what it is with 50 and Cam, he'll let you know he's giving you 48 laws of power game throughout the whole situation. You just gotta watch the interview, listen or read the book, watch the interview, and then do it in reverse. Watch the interview and then read or listen to the book. It'll tell you it's in there. See, the thing is, and you know what? And I'm going to break into my analogy after I say this. Because this is something else I also know very well. Rap is very competitive, right? Just by its nature, right? And outdoing your counterparts on tracks is one thing. Having the illest verse is one thing. But you feel the energy shift when somebody is trying to beat you or outshine you and you're not competing with them. Something I also know about very well, and I'm gonna leave names out of it because, again, I'm in my 40s now. I don't care. It's all about me building my platform and doing this on my own. But I've experienced that as well. It's like, yo, I thought we was here to collab. Why do I feel like you just? I feel like you're trying to dunk on me on the 8-foot rim, but I'm walking by. That's that's how I feel. I feel like, yeah, nigga, I'm not even dressed for this. I'm not. What are you doing?
I love that.
Yo, got you, nigga. Dunked on your dumb ass. I'm like, whoa, bro, what? Whoa, hold on. I had no idea there was a game. I had no idea. So I've been in that situation too. And just from what I've seen, just from the optics, again, law number one is never outshine the master. Now, on the flip side, I don't think Cam's been playing that game at all. I think Cam has been more like, yo, no, do your shit. If anything, I think that Cam was like, okay, nigga, you feel you got it, then go do it. I ain't tripping. I've already done my due diligence. I'm at killer season now. It is what it is for me. I'm Killer Cam. Like, go beat Jim Jones. But now, and maybe the caveat is, but hey, do it when I ain't standing next to you then, since it's like that then. And it could have been that. And that for me, I think that's where Mace comes back in again, because my last thing I want to say here, well, I got two more things to say, but why does Jim want Cam away from Mace? I want to answer it like this. You know I'm a big wrestling fan. Are you familiar, just you're tapping in and out of wrestling, are you familiar with the Kliq?
No.
Okay. So in real life, the Kliq is Shawn Michaels, Triple H, Hall, Nash, and X-Pac. In wrestling, they're D-Generation X and the NWO. And it's a couple more members and things like that, right? If looking at that as the Kliq and looking at who everybody became once things happened, I have the analogy like this. Mace is Shawn Michaels. Cam is Triple H. Santana and Big L are Hall and Nash. Or because he had so much motion, you could say Santana is Hall and Nash, and I would be okay with that. And Jim Jones is X-Pac. Damn. And what we're looking at here is what happens if X-Pac tries to tell Triple H, stop hanging with Shawn Michaels. And that's the problem. Because look, on the surface, X-Pac may not look that important. X-Pac never headlined a WrestleMania. X-Pac never won the world title. But he is a very integral part of both DX and the NWO. You really can't talk about either faction without talking about him. But the difference is, in real life, Sean Waltman, who was 6 in X-Pac, is okay with that. He's okay with Triple H being who he is, Shawn Michaels being who he is, Hall and Nash being who they were, and he was fine. He was happy to be down, serve his purpose. Back when he was the 1, 2, 3 kid, who put him over? Razor Ramon. Who was Razor Ramon? Scott Hall. The curtain call. Why did Triple H almost get fired? Because Shawn Michaels, Triple H, Hall, Nash, and X-Pac were all in the ring after a cage match in Madison Square Garden, showing everybody they cool. Like, Jim Jones don't want to be X-Pac.
He know how to shut his mouth and know his role.
Yeah. And that's the thing is, we love DIPSET. So I don't ever get me messed up. I love DIPSET. But I'll tell you this, Wayne. I feel happy. I feel good as I watch what It Is What It Is, and I see how happy Cam is to be alongside Mace and vice versa.
Yeah.
He looks genuinely happy about life. You can tell that's his man's.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you can tell that they were as advertised. And just because their career started so early, really, we only saw the beef because this is before the internet. I love how Cam broke the beginning of his piece down because he was going back to 95, 96, all these freestyles, him and Mace, how they was running around and all these things. It was like, yo, they were really two peas in the pod. Like, they were really a unit moving together. And they were like, yo, we were going to get a record deal. We were in position to make XYZ happen. We, as the consumers from the Midwest, we only see 97 to 2000. And that's all we know.
Yeah.
So it looks great. Like happiness and friendship looks great on those two individuals. And I can't help but feel a way in regards to Jim Jones because he was the only one that was like not so indifferent about it. He was like, I mean, yeah, let them do their thing. They've always been talking sports. But then he had to make it clear that he played basketball too, even with that explanation. He's like, yeah, that's what niggas did in the hood. You know, we rap and play ball. I'm like, we don't. And that's where I feel like, Cam, I don't remember you playing ball with them. I don't remember that either. Why are you trying to cut Mace out all the pictures? Like, why? I have to know that. I do want to know what happened with Cam and with Cam and Jim, but Jim got to come clean on what his real beef with Mace is, especially now, because they've publicly made up and explained why.
I'm going to say this. Jim, I feel like Jim is jealous of the relationship of Cam and Mace, and because he wants that relationship with Cam. Even through all the turmoil, like there has to be a level of jealousy. Has to be.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It has to be.
Absolutely. I mean, it's unfortunate, excuse me. It's unfortunate because it's like, damn, man, it shouldn't be this. You know, in the world of, I mean, look, I don't understand best friend culture either, though, to be honest with you. I've never labeled people like, oh, yo, this is my best friend. I've never done that. And I know some people long for that. Some people want to be, you know, classified as that. I don't call many people my brothers, sisters, or family, only because I personally just dealt with just, man, one day people wake up and they just feel different, they talk different, and they say different things about you, and sometimes you're not even aware of why. Like I've been in that. And sometimes, you know what? Hey, look, even when I scroll Facebook, sometimes with these social platforms, I'll see certain faces and be like, you know what? I don't even think they fuck with me, so I don't fuck with them. Like, I be on that type of time. I'm sorry. But I was just like, yo, it's Jim has a lot more talking to do. Not tough talk, not threats, not, you know what I'm saying, not none of that. It's just that he has to be real about how he feels about Cam, about Mace, about Cam and Mace, because, you know, just just looking from an adult perspective, music aside, everything else aside, just the optics of like, yo, you really don't like the fact that these two have pieced it up, and Cam has essentially moved on. I mean, he rap when he wants to on this platform. Like, for me, and obviously we don't know these gentlemen, so I can't be like, oh, it's 100% fact. I think Jim really just wants the chance to compete with Cam musically, and he just like, no, that's not what I got in it for. And I think that seed is a lot bigger than we truly realize.
This is deep.
Yeah, man.
I ain't gonna lie, dude. I'm just so fucking heartbroken behind this shit.
It is, man. Hey, hey, listen, it was heartbroken. It was heartbreaking because, again, I'm not a fan of Jim Jones, the rapper. I think everybody, there's no secret, right? No, everybody knows that. And that is what it is. But you know, I just don't like them being in conflict, one. And then it was also difficult for me to see, and I should have said this earlier in the show, about the whole tricking people out their freedom piece, and it's like, but I mean, I think you just described that well, of like being trained to be a crash out, but being a crash out for just other people. It's like, yo, man, if people are really getting to it, if people are really being successful, there is no room for crashing out. It should be cashing out. You know what I'm saying? It should only be cashing out, no crashing out. And I just you know what, honestly, on some real stuff, man, I pray they figure it out, because I like even though Cam was funny, but he was trying to be embarrassing and all these things. I do overall, I like his approach of like, yo, I'm not speaking this. I'm not about to do nothing in the gym. Like, I'm not engaging in tough talk and all of that and that back and forth. And I don't believe it's because Cam is scared of Jim. I don't believe that it's because he doesn't want to get hurt. I literally, genuinely, he'd be like, yo, but no, we supposed to be cool. Like, you're supposed to be my man. It's like, why would I want to take it there with you? Skip taking it there with you. Why do I want to take it there with you? You know what I'm saying? And the fact that Jim even wants to imply it, even if he don't mean it, the fact that he wants to hop on platforms and imply it, that is the sad part for me, because it's like, yo, you would throw this away in front of all of us? Come on, fam. You don't mean that. You can't possibly mean that, bro. Not in 2025, you don't. Please don't.
I'll be happy again tomorrow. I got sadder and sadder today, goddamn. The closer I knew we was gonna have to have this conversation.
Oh man. So as we close out though, man, what are your final thoughts, your final words on all of this? Or any message that you want to relay, anything that you just want to just say?
I really want people, like, if there's an issue, if you got an issue with somebody, whether you're afraid that it's going to jeopardize your relationship, but you can't fester in that shit. A person that you around need to know and understand what it is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, one thing I've noticed that these two gentlemen did is they sat on a lot of shit that they was feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And then when it started to come out, because one person gets fed up, like don't get me wrong, Cam did his rant because he had got to a point of being fed up.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, all of that shit could have been talked about back in 2007.
Yep, facts.
But he sat on it. He sat on it. They made the world feel like things was like okay, and then they sat on it, and one bad interview.
Mm-hmm.
One bad quote, and now everything is coming out. Like, me and you, we did that pod, and I had to ask you, like, wait, you got to be careful with moving that way, because people are gonna start to feel like that's how you always felt the entire time you was around them. And you clarified, and it made sense, but don't fester in how you feel about somebody. Let that person know how you feel. Y'all can work that shit out.
Yeah.
But when you just rolling around in it, and you taking a bath in it, and don't nobody see you taking a bath in it, and all of a sudden you just like, you just let the Draco loose.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can't come back from it.
No, for sure. For
Because now you
sure.
done said all the hateful things. You done said all the hurtful things. Every joke that you done thought of that you can hurt this person with, you spewing that shit.
Mm-hmm.
And certain things you can't recover from.
Yeah. Yeah.
Say what's on your mind, goddammit. Like I said, shit. Y'all may be beefing for a while, but y'all may be able to come back from it.
Yeah.
Personally, I don't think they can come back from this one.
Yeah, and you know, unfortunately, it looked like they don't want to come back from it. At least that's the optics. But man, this is a part of coming of age, right? You know what I'm saying? Sometimes the aspect of coming of age is everybody can't go, or people have made their decision for whatever reason that they don't rock with you no more, or you said this or did that, or I saw this and I'm cool. And you know, while I do think a real conversation can solve this, um, I think that it's just another angle of how business and friendship sometimes just kind of get muddy, and just things will never be the same. I mean, hey, look, not for nothing, 50 and Lloyd Banks are going through the exact same thing.
Yeah.
But I love the way that both of them are handling overall. Obviously, 50 will say certain things, but and this is why I love G-Unit, because even Tony, even Yayo would be like, "Yo, come on, man, don't do that. That's my man." Like, he's like, "Yo," you know what I'm saying? Like, even and he did that, and he was like, "Yo, no, Banks is my brother. Like, don't do that." You know what I'm saying? Like, even if 50, no matter how 50 feels, he'll never really go all out the way to disrespect Banks. And you can tell, even if Yayo may be the worst rapper, Yayo may be the crash out, but something about Yayo, you know what I'm saying? But there is something about Yayo that 50 won't cross him either.
Yeah.
Banks won't cross him either. Like, and that's, again, I salute those brothers. I commend G Unit. Hey, look, I didn't buy the tank tops, didn't buy the shoes. You know what I'm saying? Didn't buy Confessions of a Predicate Felon, didn't buy it. But I tell you what, for men that move and make money in the music industry, they're at the top of my list. Unity, I got to give it to the Locks and De La Soul. You know what I'm saying? But for the blueprint for how you can come together, dominate, and even if it's issues, we handle it a certain way, especially for the home team. Now, look, a Buck and Game, I'm not talking about them, but that ain't G Unit to me. That's record label G Unit. Gorilla Unit was 50 Banks and Yayo. That was Gorilla Unit. And that's who I'm talking about. So, well, man, this is a great show.
Man.
This is a great, this is a great show. I love this. I love this one. This was excellent. Hey, you know what? Here's another final word for all of y'all out there. Hey, man, if it's really no beef and you want to patch something up with somebody, man, talk to them. You know what I'm saying? That is what Wang said it best, and I'm just gonna double down on it. You know what I'm saying? Talk to people, man. If it's really not that big of an issue, and look, hey, look, man, and I'm totally of, I know what you said. I don't care what you meant. I am one of those type of people, so I ain't gonna gash y'all up like I'm just totally impeccable in this department, right? But man, if you have any relationship out there with anybody, male, female, intergender, whatever, you know what I'm saying, male with female, or male to male, female to female, no matter what it is, It's a conversation, not on text, call or FaceTime. I hear the voices, see the faces, look each other in the eyes, and have those real talks, man. Because I mean, hey, we know life is short. We survived the pandemic. If you can hear that, you survived the pandemic. So you already know the vibes. So that's it. You dig? This is another one. Another episode of Made in 1980s, and we appreciate y'all sincerely. And know this always and consensually. It's love.